With Mortal Kombat X on the way, now's the time for speculation about which of our favorite characters and new characters will make it into the game, along with other important gameplay aspects. When thinking about characters we'd prefer to see in the game, many of us are likely to choose ones from our favorite classics, such as MK1, MK2, and Mortal Kombat Trilogy, or in other words, the characters we just saw in Mortal Kombat 9, since they were all lovable in some special way.
For example, Baraka, King of the Tarkatans, had blades for arms, which was adorable.
I thought he was just the general of the Tarkatans, not the king.
Oh, he was the king. The king of my heart.
Now don't get us wrong, we would like to see almost every character that appeared in Mortal Kombat 9 appear again in Mortal Kombat X. However, we just want to look beyond the standard favorites that were introduced in Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
And if we were to talk about characters that should be included that were not in MK9, we would just be repeating the characters from a different list that we did. Top 10 3D era Mortal Kombat characters.
So if we rule out the old characters, how can we really create new ones? The new characters that have been introduced are completely new archetypes that we've never seen before. I mean, who was expecting a bug lady, or a big guy with a little girl on his back?
Huh, I looked at it as a girl with a guy underneath her. I guess it's a glass half full, half empty type of thing. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Half full, half empty, never mind. So when looking at potential new characters that still make sense in the MK universe, we want to take a closer look at the lesser acknowledged characters from the lore that have never been playable before for speculation purposes, since we can't create logical new characters out of nothing. Now, because we wanted to make sure that every character on this list would make sense in the MK universe, and because there are plenty of lore sources out there beyond the normal games, here are some credentials for who's on this list. The character has never been playable in an MK fighting game, however being playable in spin-offs or bonus features are fine. The character has appeared in MK lore in some manner, for example movies, arcade mode endings, TV series, spin-off games, and even just being mentioned by the game's creators. And finally, no completely made-up characters. Just because Cassie Cage is in the game doesn't mean you can take any two characters and make them have a child.
For example, we couldn't just take my two favorite characters, Baraka and Reptile, and breed them together to get their offspring. Spoiler alert, you'd be a centaur.
So with all that being said, let's dig into the MK lore to find our top 10 new characters we'd like to see in Mortal Kombat X.
Now before we begin, I would like to give a heartfelt thanks to Ed Boon and the entire Mortal Kombat team for bringing such joy to my life. Mortal Kombat 2 was my favorite game as a child, and it actually inspired me to do martial arts throughout my entire life. In addition, when Mortal Kombat 9 came out, it really started this friendship between MrTopTenList and myself. That said, you for including the Crypt monster. What the were you thinking? That's why number 10 is the Crypt monster. Because I want nothing more than to fatality this son of a... Here, MrTopTenList and I were just wandering around the crypt, looking to unlock stuff, and all of a sudden, this beast just jumps out of nowhere and scares the...
Fun fact, did you know the Crypt monster is confirmed to be female?
Really? I was not aware of that.
Yeah, apparently this 2D cardboard cutout we call the Crypt monster has a mild backstory. She was supposed to be a clone of Katana made in Shang Tsung's flesh pits, but it didn't work out, so I guess Shang Tsung just kinda released her into the crypt to scare innocent video game players trying to unlock cool things. Basically, the Crypt monster was gonna be Katana, or more Melina because she was a clone. You know what? Both work in this situation. Both work. Crypt monster's not gonna be in the game. Number 9 is Art Lin from the first Mortal Kombat movie. Since Lin was just a normal guy who was good at martial arts and that's about it, he's not the flashiest character. He really didn't fight that much in the movie, so giving him a completely random moveset is perfectly fine. Netherrealm Studios doesn't really have to retcon his story. He was actually supposed to have a bigger role in the movie, but due to time restraints, he only got that minor role where he really just fought Goro. Luckily for you Art Lin fans, he had a bigger role in the Mortal Kombat movie novel.
Oh yeah, I remember reading that.
Why do I feel you don't remember reading that?
Because I didn't. I just wanted to look educated.
I don't think anybody has ever read that novel. I didn't even read that novel to do research for this video. I just read Cliff Notes. Cliff Notes of a novel. Based on a movie. Based on a video game. Based on numerous other things. There are a lot of layers to this. Anyway, the movie just kinda showed that Art Lin made it to Goro without anything happening before that, but apparently the novel highlights that he won the most fights out of any Earthrealm member at that point. Still, with the diminished role of all the characters from the movie that never appeared in the games, Art Lin was definitely the most prominent.
Hold on there, MrTopTenList. I think you're forgetting about another really important character in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Really? Who's more important than Art Lin, other than the characters that were actually from the game?
The Lion Roar guy.
Who is that?
Remember in Liu Kang's first fight? He, fights a guy who can roar like a lion?
Vaguely?
Well, yeah, he may have only been in the movie for 3 minutes, but they were a very important 3 minutes for setting the tone for the rest of the tournament.
I guess it set some sort of tone. However, according to Mortal Kombat creator Ed Boon, if nobody is requesting Art Lin, then what's the chances for Tiger Roar guy? I mean, how would he even play?
We already have his 3 styles set up. We have the staff style, the roaring at you style, and, I don't know, the getting your soul stolen style? That last one will probably be low tier, however. Number 8 is Scully, or as I like to call him, good old Bonesy. For those of you who saw our top 10 3D era Mortal Kombat list, you'll know that I have a particular love of meat. Back in the day, there was another character created in the same vein as meat. This was, of course, good old Bonesy.
Yeah, this character barely is canon, but I guess he does exist because Mortal Kombat art director Steve Barron confirmed once that the generic skeletal structure used to create other characters is named Scully, and is the cousin of Meat.
And besides, when have we ever seen a skeleton fighting game character before?
Number 7 is Asgar. Don't recognize him? Well, I don't expect you to, because he's from the short-lived Mortal Kombat family-friendly 90s cartoon, Defenders of the Realm. What did he do in the one episode he appeared in? Really just told Kitana about her plan that she made up to get back her homeland of Edenia that ended up failing, but, he has an eagle head, and eagle talons, and an eagle ponytail. Well, it's actually just a regular ponytail on an eagle head, but my point still kinda stands. If you're looking for a backstory, he is the royal knight or general of the King of Edenia, King Jerrod.
Must have not been a very good night then. I mean, King Jerrod got taken over pretty quickly by Shao Kahn. Am I right?
Did I say he is King Jerrod's general? I meant he was.
Just think about some of the attacks this guy could have. He could fly around, dropping things and items at you from the sky, except he doesn't have wings. So he can't actually do that. How did this guy beat out the Lion Roar guy?
Because Asgar survived a 20-minute episode, and Lion Roar guy didn't even survive 3 minutes of a movie.
Yeah, but he had Moxie while he was alive. Number 6 is the Lin Kuei Grandmaster. For those of you who have never seen a Kung Fu movie, the Grandmaster is always better than all the students combined.
He most recently appeared in Sector's Mortal Kombat 9 arcade mode ending, where he was defeated pretty easily. And his bigger role was in Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, where he really just stood around and made hammy facial expressions. Never really fought. Is there a reason I should expect him to be so powerful?
Here we have a character that trained Sub-Zero, Sector, Cyrex, Smoke, and probably others. I want to see this character in action. I want to see what the Grandmaster can do.
Number 5 is the Mystery Woman from Jade's Mortal Kombat 9 arcade mode ending. Not much is really known about her. That's kind of why she's called Mystery Woman. The MK staff gave that name to her, don't look at us. Anyway, Jade mysteriously falls unconscious after she beats Shao Kahn in the ending, goes into this mystery world where she meets said Mystery Woman. We get it, you're mysterious. When Jade awakens, her mind has been taken over by the Mystery Woman. That's kind of rude to do without asking. Now I know Jade is dead in the canon story rather than unconscious, and there's kind of a difference between those two things. However, nothing says she can't take over a lifeless body. Plus, having her in Jade's arcade mode ending might have been foreshadowing how Jade will be playable in future games. Or it was just put there to mess with us. But I like to think the foreshadowing. The closest character that resembles the Mystery Woman in MK lore is Delia from Mortal Kombat Armageddon, who's the sorceress that created Blaze. I guess I kinda see a resemblance. Maybe it's the hood, except for Mystery Woman's hood actually fits her properly. What, did they run out of Delia's size at JCPenney when she was shopping for her outfit?
Number 4 is Tremor, the Earth Ninja. Those of you who don't know, he first appeared in Mortal Kombat Special Forces, where he is now a brown color swap ninja that has the power to control the Earth.
Tremor has got to be one of the most requested characters that has never been playable before in an MK fighting game, which is why we put him so high in this list. He has a better chance of making it in than some characters we just saw in MK9. All the demands for Tremor is likely why he was playable in MK9's Vita version of the Challenge Tower. However, he had a recycled moveset with moves from characters such as Jax, making this more of a tease to the fans and not an official appearance of the earthbending palette swap ninja. His backstory is that he's a member of the Black Dragon, a big crime cartel in the Mortal Kombat universe, which is led by Mortal Kombat veteran Kano. And there's Tremor. See? There he is, blending in with this game's lighting.
One thing I don't understand, why wasn't Tremor in charge of that group? Like, did Tremor and Kano come up to each other one day, and Tremor goes, I'm gonna take you down, I can control the earth. And Kano went, you know, I can roll into a ball and throw myself at you. Uh-oh. Guess you win, Kano.
Number 3. Kia and Jitaka. These two characters are part of the Demon Assassin trio that serves Quan Chi in the Netherrealm. The third member of that trio is Serena, who is playable in Mortal Kombat Armageddon and some Game Boy Advance game I don't need to talk about, so she wouldn't count as a new playable character, but she has a role in how these characters would play. When the trio initially appeared in Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, which was a Mortal Kombat spin-off beat-em-up game, they were mini-bosses, each with a unique weapon differentiating their attacks. Serena had these weapons called Kamas, Jitaka had a sword that shoots lasers, Kia had a bladed boomerang which... Did I just say a sword that shoots lasers? Since there's not much else to Kia and Jitaka's movesets from their one appearance in a spin-off game which was, let's say, not very popular, and because each individual character will have to have 3 unique movesets, I can't see all the trio making it in. Even if just 2 of them were to be included as their own characters, that's basically 6 new movesets that would need to be created or recycled from other characters, and that second option is not as fun. However, after all that build-up, here's how you fans of these characters have a more likely way of getting this trio in the game for the low price of $19.95. The trio could be considered just one character for you! And by that, we mean the trio can be one character, with each member being a different fighting style. Since they're considered one character, they all enter together in the character intro, and then the 2 that weren't chosen just jump off-screen or off to the side, leaving the main fighter in the battle. But they can still have teamwork attacks, like their throws or x-rays, that appear regardless of the fighting style chosen, so the trio would still act as one character rather than finding some poor excuse to put 3 individual characters in the game without creating 3 unique fighting styles. Per character, that is. And there we go, an overly complex method to get 3 characters in the game that people likely have forgotten about over the years.
Number 2 is Fire God Liu Kang. In Liu Kang's arcade ending in Mortal Kombat 9, he decides that he should become the protector of Earthrealm. He ends up fighting Raiden in a one-match Mortal Kombat tournament for this right.
A one-match Mortal Kombat. Really? I know they called it that in the ending, but when I think of Mortal Kombat, I think of this large-scale tournament with plenty of participants, not 2 guys fighting. Why didn't they just call it a brawl? Or a skirmish? Or hey, how about a fight to the death? What is that, trademarked or something? Actually, I think it's the opposite, because Mortal Kombat's the intellectual property in this scenario.
Anyways, this is actually a likely outcome, since in the Mortal Kombat 9 story mode, Liu Kang is badly burned by Raiden.
However, his condition was left ambiguous at the end of the story, and he is possibly still alive, meaning he could recover. Considering how mad he was at Raiden by the end of the story, he could become a sub-boss antagonist of sorts to both Raiden and the heroes of the game in this new fiery form. It would be a new twist on a character that has been rather bland in about every appearance outside of maybe the live-action movie.
Wait a second. Wasn't this list only supposed to be new characters to the series? And hasn't Liu Kang kind of been the main character since Mortal Kombat 1?
Well, you see, the Fire God was a character in a spin-off game, and, well, you know, let's just call him New Liu Kang. Crisis averted. Okay, let's go to number 1. So, the number 1 new character we would like to see in Mortal Kombat X is King Jerrod. Now, despite the fact he died many years before the timeline of this game, his legacy lives on in Ermac's Mortal Kombat 9 arcade mode ending, giving us something upon which to speculate. Thanks a lot, arcade mode. Wait, I should say that in a less cynical tone. Thanks a lot, arcade mode. Basically, with Shao Kahn out of the picture, Ermac has no outside force ordering him around, so the 1,000 warrior souls that make him up were trying to take control as the leader of the body. One of the souls was former king of Edenia, Jerrod. Taking over Ermac, making him a warrior of peace and apparently bringing the original Jerrod back to life.
I got a question. Why did Shang Tsung put one of Shao Kahn's enemies into the soul of his soldier?
I'm assuming Shang Tsung wanted the best souls to be put into Ermac. I'm guessing after Shao Kahn defeated Jerrod, he saved his soul in a Ziploc bag somewhere.
So what? He put in the soul of a loser? What next? Eagle head guy?
Anyway, Jerrod hasn't appeared in that much Mortal Kombat media, so we don't have too many sources to really go into what a supposed playstyle would be, or even what his personality would be like. Earlier, we said that characters will have 3 move styles. If Ermac's going to be in the game, Jerrod doesn't have to be a separate character, but rather just one of Ermac's playstyles, where he's in control of Ermac, giving him a new personality and a royal moveset. Maybe give him some moves of his wife Sindel, considering she's probably dead and won't be in the game. Give him maybe her hair manipulation powers? He has a beard, he can grab things with it. Beard manipulation. Cut, print, love it. As we said, there's not that many pictures of him, so for other moves, maybe, I don't know, he can do something with a crown that he wears and use a fire sword?
He could also have a deflect spike ability, because clearly that's a big part of his character. Why did Shao Kahn have to attack with balls instead of spikes?
Plus, he's a king in a fighting game. What's better than playing a king in a fighting game? Well, maybe playing a chef. Anyway, that's why we think King Jerrod should be in Mortal Kombat X, along with the other characters we mentioned. Have any characters you think should be in the game? Let us know.
And let us know what their moveset should be, and any other information about them.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Valid point on King Jerrod falling too easily to Shao Kahn, but who is a better option for number 1?
What about the trees from the Living Forest?
You mean the trees that were rejected from having a role in Disney's Pocahontas? Try again.
Fine. What about the Tarkatan with a gun? We could call him Gun Raka. Because, you know, Tarkatans are like Pokemon. They all have to end with the word Raka.
That's Digimon that has that suffix. And what about that Tarkatan named Steve?
His real name was actually Steve Raka. Yeah, he was a bit of a disappointment to his family.